In the past two sections, we have examined the mechanisms of the human body and discussed that our body is constantly renewing itself. In this section of Nutritin, we will examine how much of various food components the human body needs. If we know the compounds that the body needs and know which foods each of them is found in, then we have reached a deep understanding of our nutrition. But here, too, we must use a technique and categorize nutrients in the best possible way. The nutrients that people need are divided into two groups. 1. Macronutrients. The body needs them in large quantities, that is more than 1 gram per day. 2. Micronutrients. They are needed in smaller quantities. Macronutrients, except for water and fiber, are the raw materials for building the body's structure and also provide the body with the energy it needs. Carbohydrates are divided into 3 groups: monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. They make up the bulk of our diet. In fact, carbohydrates, after digestion, are converted into sugar in the body, which provides the body with the energy it needs. U.S. dietary guidelines recommend that individuals consume 45 to 65% of their daily calories from complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates include whole grains, apples, pears, asparagus, bananas, legumes, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, brown rice, rye bread, carrots, cucumbers, corn, peas, celery, dried apricots, fruits, nuts, oatmeal, and rolled oats. The World Health Organization has also stated that the energy intake from refined sugar-added foods should be no more than 10% of daily calories. Fats are divided into 2 groups: saturated and unsaturated. Unsaturated fatty acids are further divided into omega-3 and omega-6 groups. The human body needs these 2 types of beneficial fats on a daily basis. Trans fatty acids are a type of fatty acid that does not exist naturally and is usually created industrially in a process called hydrogenation. Saturated fats, which are usually from animal sources, are solid at room temperature, while unsaturated fats are usually liquid at room temperature. Some unsaturated fats are trans fats. Trans fatty acids endanger human health but are used in the food industry, including to prevent food spoilage. In general, fats have 9 calories per gram, which is about twice as much as carbohydrates and proteins. So remember that eating fats brings a lot of calories into the body. But as we said, our body needs 2 types of fats, omega-3 and omega-6, to carry out its activities. Functions such as the absorption of vitamins and minerals, blood clotting, cell building, and muscle movement are performed through fats in the body. Adding healthy fats to your diet can help regulate blood sugar, reduce the risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes, and improve brain function. Fats are powerful anti-inflammatories and can reduce the risk of arthritis, joint inflammation, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. You can find healthy fats like omega-3 and omega-6 in oilseeds, plant seeds, fish, and vegetable oils like olive, avocado, and flaxseed. It should be noted that the ratio of consumption of these 2 types of fatty acids is also important, but by following the recommendations we make, this ratio will be adjusted in your diet. Protein is a structural material in many parts of the body, such as muscle, bone, skin, and hair. The body's hormones, antibodies, and many important substances are made of protein. As we said in the past, proteins are made up of amino acids, which are mainly made up of nitrogen and sometimes sulfur. The body needs amino acids to build protein and replace it for the purpose of rebuilding damaged proteins. Since the body does not store amino acids, these amino acids must be obtained through the daily diet. Excess amino acids from the diet are excreted in the urine, which is why the nitrogen content of urine is high. The body needs 20 different amino acids for growth and proper function. 11 amino acids are made in the body and are called non-essential. There are 9 other amino acids that the body cannot make, and you must get them through your diet and proper diet. These amino acids are only essential under special conditions such as injury or illness. A diet that contains adequate amounts of amino acids, especially essential amino acids, is especially important at certain times, such as during the early stages of pregnancy, breastfeeding, and injuries such as burns. Beef, chicken, fish, and eggs are good sources of essential amino acids. In addition, you can get the protein you need from plant sources such as legumes, soy, seeds, and nuts. The exact amount of protein needed daily varies depending on your activity level and age.
One measure of the quality of proteins is whether they are complete or incomplete. A complete protein contains a high amount of all the essential amino acids needed by the body. An incomplete protein does not have this feature and usually lacks one or two essential amino acids. Pairing foods to provide complete proteins is called complementation. In other words, to complete your protein intake, you should consume two food sources that each lack a different essential amino acid. For example, rice is low in the essential amino acid lysine, while beans are low in the essential amino acid methionine. Eating rice with beans improves the protein quality of both. Another example is pasta and cheese. Pasta is low in the essential amino acids lysine and isoleucine, while dairy products have a high amount of both. Sprinkling Parmesan cheese on pasta provides a higher quality protein meal. Other complementary protein combinations include peanut butter with bread and milk with cereal. Many of these food combinations are a natural and common part of the diet in regions of the world where animal protein is scarce or very expensive. The fiber present in food is made of carbohydrate compounds that are generally not digestible, but play a very important role in digestive system function. Whole grains, fruits, and vegetables are good sources of fiber. In our opinion, fiber is the most engineered food. Fiber helps bulk up and soften stool, promoting smooth bowel movements. Insoluble fiber found in whole wheat, nuts, and vegetables stimulates the rhythmic contractions of the small intestine muscles. Soluble fiber, found in oats, peas, barley, and many fruits, dissolves in water and slows down the movement of food through the intestines. This leads to a slower absorption of sugar and consequently a lower blood sugar level. Unfortunately, the modern human approach to this food has been like treating it as a worthless substance. Through milling, peeling, dehydration, and juice extraction, this valuable element is removed from food, leading not only to the risk of overdosing on harmful substances, but also to digestive problems such as inflammatory bowel disease and functional digestive disorders like irritable bowel syndrome. Here, you also clearly understand why it is recommended to eat fruit instead of fruit juice, dates and figs instead of sugar and candy, and to eat fruit with its skin, bread in its whole wheat form, and meals with vegetables and salads. Of course, too much fiber can also cause bloating and constipation. The fastest digesting foods are processed and sugary foods like candy and juices. Your body gets rid of them within a few hours and quickly makes you hungry again. Water is excreted from the body in various forms such as urine, stool, sweat, and vapor from respiration. Therefore, it is necessary to take in enough water to replace the lost water of the body. Currently, most recommendations for water intake differ from each other. For adult women, the European Food Safety Authority, ESFA, has defined a daily intake of 2 liters of water, while for adult men, 2.5 liters is recommended. To maintain a hydrated and healthy body, 80% of our daily water requirement is met by drinking fluids, and the remaining 20% is obtained from the food we consume. The water content of food varies depending on the type of food. For example, fruits and vegetables have a higher water content than grains. The daily water requirement of the elderly is the same as that of adults, while their energy requirement is lower. Pregnant and lactating women also need to take in more water to stay hydrated. Taking in less or much more water than needed can be harmful to the body. Drinking too much water can be one of the main causes of hyponatremia, which is a sodium deficiency. The daily requirement of the body for micronutrients is very low. Minerals are part of micronutrients and are divided into two categories, high need and low need.
The RDA for some minerals that the body needs in amounts of more than 150 milligrams per day are listed below. Calcium. It is needed both as an electrolyte and in the structure of the body. This element is essential for the health of muscles and the digestive system, bone strength, neutralizing acidity, and the production of signal ions for nerve and membrane function. Chlorine. It is needed as an electrolyte in the body and is found in table salt. Magnesium. It is needed for the production of ATP, reactions related to including bone building and facilitating the movement of digestive muscles. Phosphorus. It is needed for bone structure and is essential for the energy production process. Potassium. It is a type of electrolyte that is essential for heart and brain function. Sodium. It is a type of electrolyte that is commonly used in processed foods and beverages. This substance usually enters the body in the form of sodium chloride or table salt, and excessive intake of it causes calcium and magnesium excretion and increases blood pressure. Low-need minerals. The body needs some minerals in very small amounts because they play a catalytic role in enzymes. Some of the minerals that the body needs less than 0.15 milligrams per day are listed below. Cobalt. It is needed for the synthesis of vitamin B12. Copper. It is a substance needed by many oxidizing enzymes, such as cytochrome C oxidase. Chromium. It is essential for glucose metabolism. Iodine. It is not only essential for the synthesis of the thyroid hormone thyroxine, but is also needed in other organs including the breasts, stomach, salivary glands, thymus, etc. For this reason, the body needs more iodine than other elements on this list, and iodine is sometimes classified as a macromineral. Iron. It is needed for many enzymes as well as for hemoglobin and some other proteins. Manganese. It is needed for oxygen processing. Molybdenum. It is needed for the activity of xanthine oxidase and other related oxidases. Selenium. It is needed for peroxidases. Zinc. It is needed for some enzymes including carboxypeptidase, liver alcohol dehydrogenase, and carbonic anhydrase. Vitamins. Vitamins are among the most important micronutrients. Many people ask that with the existence of proteins, why does the body need vitamins? It should be said that the body needs specific compounds to build its various parts, and some of these compounds cannot be produced by the body itself, except for vitamin D in the presence of UV radiation. Therefore, these compounds must be provided to the body through the diet. Of course, vitamin C can be produced in the body, and many animal species have the ability to produce vitamins. Recognizing vitamins can decode the miracle of nature in the creation of living beings. Our look at this part of lifestyle engineering is a poetic and admirable look. Deficiency of vitamins can cause various diseases, including scurvy, beriberi, weakened immune system, impaired cellular metabolism, various types of cancer, signs of premature aging, and mental health disorders. Excessive intake of some vitamins can also threaten health. The Food and Nutrition Board of the Institute of Medicine has defined the upper limit of consumption for 7 vitamins, exceeding which can cause poisoning. Fat-soluble vitamins. In a way, these vitamins can be considered a special type of fat that the body needs to rebuild itself. An engineering point about the tablets of these vitamins is that if they are consumed with fatty foods, they are better absorbed. Vitamin A. It is found in foods of animal origin such as liver, whole milk, eggs, and butter in the form of retinoids. Beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A retinoid, is found in dark green and bright yellow fruits and vegetables and is converted to vitamin A in the body. Vitamin D. There are 3 forms of vitamin D: calciferol, cholecalciferol, and ergocalciferol. Calciferol is naturally found in fish oil and egg yolks. Cholecalciferol is produced when the skin is exposed to sunlight. Ergocalciferol is produced in plants exposed to sunlight. For this reason, cholecalciferol and ergocalciferol are called sunshine vitamins. Vitamin E. Every living creature needs this vitamin to maintain its reproductive system, nerves, and muscles. Vitamin E can be obtained from 2 families of chemicals that are naturally found in vegetable oils, nuts, whole grains, and leafy green vegetables. Vitamin K. This vitamin is found in dark green leafy vegetables such as broccoli, cabbage, kale, lettuce, spinach, and Swiss chard, and also in cheese, liver, and fermented foods. It can also be produced from colonies of remaining beneficial bacteria in the intestines.
Water-soluble vitamins, vitamins C, B6, folate, and biotin, and all vitamins B, namely thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pantothenic acid, are usually easily grouped together because they are all water-soluble. High amounts of these vitamins are usually excreted from the body. Vitamin C rarely causes side effects, but there is evidence that excessive intake of vitamin C accelerates wound healing, protects the immune system. Good sources of this vitamin include citrus fruits, bell peppers, types of cabbage, and tomatoes. Vitamin B1, thiamine. Although it is found in all body tissues, the highest levels of it are found in vital organs, heart, liver, and kidneys. The richest food sources of thiamine are unrefined grains, beans, nuts, and seeds. Vitamin B2, riboflavin. Without it, the body cannot digest and use proteins and carbohydrates. Riboflavin is more abundant in animal tissue foods, meat, fish, poultry, eggs, milk, whole or fortified grains, brewer's yeast, and dark green vegetables such as broccoli and spinach. Niacin. Niacin can be available as a ready nutrient or through conversion to the amino acid tryptophan. Ready niacin is obtained from meat, and tryptophan is obtained from milk and dairy products. Niacin is also found in grains, but your body cannot absorb it effectively unless the grains are fortified with minerals. Vitamin B6. The best food sources of vitamin B6 are liver, chicken, fish, lamb, milk, eggs, unmilled brown rice, whole grains, soybeans, potatoes, beans, nuts, seeds, and dark green vegetables like Swiss chard. Folate. Adequate intake of folate significantly reduces the risk of spinal cord defects. Beans, vegetables, or dark green leafy vegetables, liver, yeast, and various fruits are excellent dietary sources of folate. Vitamin B12. This vitamin is not made by fruits and vegetables, but is produced by beneficial bacteria that live in the small intestine of humans, similar to vitamin K. Meat, fish, poultry, dairy products, and eggs are good sources of vitamin B12. Biotin. The best food sources of biotin include liver, egg yolks, milk, bananas, nuts, seeds, pork chops, salmon, sweet potatoes, and mushrooms. If your diet doesn't provide all the biotin you need, the bacteria in your intestines can produce enough to compensate. Pantothenic acid, vitamin B5. This vitamin is found in large amounts in foods like mushrooms, fish, avocado, eggs, chicken and lean meat, milk, sunflower seeds, and lentils. It is necessary for the production of blood cells and converting food into energy. Some studies suggest it may be beneficial for moisturizing the skin and reducing blemishes. Malnutrition. To deepen your understanding of the body's nutrients, we should also explore the consequences of not consuming the right amount of each. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, malnutrition is a broad term encompassing nutrient deficiency malnutrition. This leads to stunting, underweight for height, and wasting. Micronutrient malnutrition. This refers to deficiencies in vitamins and minerals. Overconsumption of micronutrients. This can lead to overweight, obesity, and chronic diseases associated with diet, such as heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and cancer. In this section, we will examine the problems that arise due to under or overconsumption of various nutrients to further emphasize the importance of maintaining balance. Pay close attention to what you eat. Continue. That's why it is recommended not to take supplements and fortifiers without having physical problems without the supervision of a doctor. But we must tell you this simple formula. If you follow a balanced diet and do not overdo it in the consumption of any food, you will never experience a deficiency or excess of nutrients in your body. The engineering method for this type of nutrition is to follow the food pyramid, which will be explained in the next section. Nutrition can even affect mental health. Supplements can be helpful for depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and OCD, the 4 main mental illnesses in developed countries. Supplements whose effect on mood has been studied are eicosapentaenoic acid and docosahexaenoic acid, which are used as fish oil supplements. So, not only for physical health but also for mental health, we must follow the principles of nutrition. Here, the classification and review of nutrients is complete. Although this section of nutrition is highly specialized and mixed with complex terms and compounds, it is very important to be familiar with them in your life. We suggest that if you have the opportunity, review this section again, and this time try to memorize the different terms.